And it is 129, right? That is correct. I think. Fuck it, if not, it's 129 times 2. Whatever. I'll fix it in post.
You don't want to check in for 5 seconds?
If we ran Nintendo.
What is up, everybody, and welcome to episode 129 of If We Ran Nintendo. I am Bobby, the Nintendo Guru, joined by the greatest co-host in all the land, Mr. Sean Capri.
Bobby, my glasses are broken, but it's good to see you through new lenses, my friend.
That's well, that's what happens when you let your kid just beat the hell out of
He
you.
just punched me right in the nose.
We just know who runs shop over there.
Yeah, Ellie.
And
Chelsea.
Yeah, the girls are running the show now, man.
yeah, pretty much. You guys are done.
Mm-hmm.
And then we got this guy. I don't know who this guy is. He showed up again. It's the greatest beard in all the land, Mr. Jason Lacy.
Once a month. I'm doing it, guys. I'm doing it. I made it.
Oh
Yes.
man,
Consistency is the key.
that we're consistently not consistent. That's the key. Hey, how you been, Jason?
I've
I
been
feel
good.
like I haven't seen you in like 6 years, man.
I've been good. I've been busy. I've been tired.
Yeah.
I've been all over the place.
Yeah.
You know. That's
You know.
life, though. You know,
It's
you gotta
life,
roll.
man.
You gotta
That's
roll
what-
with it.
That's what happens, man.
That's right.
That's what happens.
That's right.
What
I
did you
just
just
took
put in your mouth?
A halls.
What do you do? Every co-host I'm with, Luke Glore is eating cookies
My
on
throat,
the Xbox
man.
Drive.
No, I'm not eating anything. My throat's a little, and I don't have coffee.
You
It's
need
too late
a-
to be drinking coffee for me.
You need
I-
a Ricola.
I know I don't have any. I would, but whatever. It is what it is. So,
Trying to
I
get
didn't
you
mean to out
sponsorship.
you.
huh? What you say, Sean?
I didn't mean to out you, but I guess I did.
Yeah, I mean, anybody watching the video would have seen me doing it.
Yeah, just throwing a whole bunch of stuff in your mouth. Just
Well, I'm used to a lot of stuff in my
Nom, nom,
mouth.
nom.
It's okay.
Yep,
I like a lot of stuff.
living
in
that
my
divorce life.
mouth. Yeah. That's a thing.
Gotta pay the bills.
Yeah.
Yeah. Hey, man. Every now and again, you got to just take a shot to the mouth. Whatever it works.
Well, that's how we're
I-
starting.
Yep. We're going there.
Ribo's quoting stuff right now. He's writing stuff down, and he's just throwing it in my streams, man. That's what he does. I don't know if you've been privy to ever seeing any of my quotes pop up. Like he's got it set where every 30 minutes a quote will pop into my Twitch stream, and it's like the most ridiculous things in the world that I say. He just grabs them, no
Out of
context,
Yeah.
Love
just throws them in there, and I'm like, wow, dude. And I have to explain to everyone because I feel so. There's one with me. I'm so mad that I want to punch a baby in the face, and I'm like,
Oh,
dude, there's. And what it was a whole spiel I was doing. I was acting like I'm Mr. Calm, Mr. Civil, and as I'm playing, I'm like, dude, I am the calmest, the coolest person there is, blah, blah. And I die, or my team loses just as it happened to go. Except for right now, like to punch a baby in the face, and I just said it real straight, even keel. Totally taken out of context. So when you read it, it's like, oh, what a jerk. He actually said this. And I'm like, oh my god. Anyway, let's kick this episode off like we do each and every episode with our geek outs.
flux with flux, flux with flux.
I guess I could go first. And my shout out is to someone that is not, he's with us, but in 7 days he's no longer going to be with
Oh
us.
no,
He is going to be decimated.
about to be destroyed.
He's going to be destroyed. Lights out. I'm saying it right now. Nobody is going to beat Jason Lacy. No mother
No.
effing body.
Oh no.
So, Mr. Badbit, shout outs to you because this will be the last time anybody shouts you out anywhere. Anybody talks about you. Anybody mentions your name. You are DEAD. And since you're very illiterate, it's dead. You are dead to him. He is going to
Very
crush
illiterate.
you in smash,
Oh no.
devastate you, just humiliate you. It's going to happen. He thinks he's really good because he's good at Fortnite and good at Red Dead and good at Splatoon and stuff. This is a whole different level. Like, Jason Lacy legitimately made me go to GameStop and return arms Me,
Yeah, about
Sean, and I was getting beat so bad. I was like, I have no business playing this game. And I went back to GameStop. I traded in that day because I was like, get close to full value as I can off of this thing because in about 6 months it's going to be worth like 10 cents. And I took it back that weekend because I was like, this guy just pulling off moves. I have no idea how the hell they're doing. And we're only a couple weeks into ARMS. It isn't
I got the Prima strategy guide. That's how I did it.
Rest in peace.
Well, all I know is this. Rip your ass goodbye, buddy. 'Cause you are dead. You are dead. I'm telling you. It's on. It's on. Anybody wants to see the battle, the war of words continue, you think the WWE is good? You ain't seen nothing yet. But see, here's the thing. Like, I'm coming with originality. This idiot pulls a puppet out. Like, come on, bro. Like, come on.
He's mankind.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh,
Thank
Sock.
you. Yeah, Mr. Sacco, except for it's Mr. Piranha Plant. Yeah. So, what about you guys? Guys have any any shout outs?
I mean, that is my shout out. Bobby's been my corner man like all week, and I go onto Twitter and I'm like, what is going on? Out of nowhere, I was like, out of context. Bad Bit's got this tweet, and then you're like, you're just depressed because in 7 days Jason Lacy is going to crush you. And I'm just like, just out of nowhere, you just pull this tweet off, and I'm just like, what is this? This is great. And then today, oh my, you guys have to find the thread that Bobby posted. This is Friday night. Bobby posted. Oh my God, there's videos now. It's great. Oh my God.
The thing is this started a couple weeks ago. So I was playing Diablo with Bad Bit and Rybo.
Oh, that's right. Rybo showed it. Yes.
In the middle of it, Bad Bit just starts talking trash about Lacy. How he can't wait until Smash comes out because he's going to destroy Lacy. And I'm like, whoa, hold the phone, man. Like, that's not going to happen. Like, what are you talking about here? Like, dude, like, you ever heard of Leroy Brown? The baddest man in the whole damn town? Like, that Lacy buries him. Like, you don't tug on Superman's cape, man. What are you doing? Like, and that's the thing. Like, I was just like, you're making a mistake, bro. But he's doubled down. Rather than getting common sense, which is typical North Jersey style, they're pretty stupid up there. Rather than backing off his words, he doubles down and comes harder. You're gonna get your ass kicked, buddy.
Is this true that he's gonna play Hotel Transylvania or whatever if he loses? Is that actual?
Yeah, that's what he said. He said he's gonna play Hotel Transylvania 3 if he.
So now he's gonna steal from James Johnson. I mean,
pretty much. That's his MO. That's his MO.
Man.
He's gonna get beat. I feel bad. Listen, that's how the whole Jason Lacy verse 7 started. Because I was just like one day, like, Jason's so amazing. You could just throw 7 people against him and he'll just crush them all.
This is the best podcast I think I've ever been on. Good show tonight, guys. I'm really liking this one.
He's pumping his tires over here.
All I gotta say is, you better come through, man. Because if you lose, I'm coming to wherever the hell you live, and I'm whipping that butt. Like,
I don't even know.
Straight up. Like, I'm just coming out to East Bumble, Middle America, and we're gonna have
pretty much it.
And we're gonna have some words.
East
we're gonna be
Bumble.
going at it. East Bumble. I can't say the full word. We'll just go with Sean.
I feel like I'm like the live studio audience. You guys podcast, and I'm like the laugh track to like catching the things that you're saying. You keep moving on.
I feel like we're about to bring back your wrestling promos that you did with Nintendo dads back.
That's what stemmed it. That was like when it brought that up, and I was like, man, that was the best ever. Like, that whole moment was the best ever. But nobody else has the cojones to step in to the verbal ring with me. Bad Bit did, but he fell very flat. Like, just not that good. You know what I mean? Just like you're going to lose to Lacy, you're going to lose to me in the word of words, because I'm just going to keep coming back and hammering. It's just how it is. Just expect it.
Sean, your thoughts?
Hey, your thoughts.
I can't wait, man. This reminds me of like junior high. It's like there's like 2 people who didn't even like know each other, and there's a bunch of other kids who are just like, you guys hate each other, and you're gonna fight after school in the parking lot by the flagpole.
Exactly.
That's Bobby.
Exactly, yeah.
Like, these guys didn't even know that they were supposed to like play each other.
No, this was Bad Bit starting it. I just defended Jason because
Okay, well
when the guy's not,
that's how those started anyways.
when my
back in the
friend's
day.
not there, you can't talk trash about
You're
him.
like,
I
hey
don't
man,
want
you're
that
never gonna
happening.
guess what this asshole's saying about you.
Yeah.
Like, okay. Like Jason's like, okay, and Bobby's like, no, it's not okay. You're gonna
I
do
got,
it.
No.
I got
What
Bobby.
happened was-
I got Bobby to stand up for me, and I got Rybo to Twitch clip it and post it on Discord the next day.
So what happened was Rybo Twitch clipped it, right? And Rybo shares it, and Jason's like, "Well, at least somebody stood up for me," because Rybo is just like, like he's just like even kill Rybo. He's Mr. Canada up there. They don't pick sides. They're Sweden. They just stay in the middle of the road. They go, let's not pick sides.
Sweden.
Don't look at me like that, Capri. Very, very.
Is
Sweden?
Sweden?
Switzerland.
There you go.
They're fully recreationalized up there. They're just chill.
Yeah. That's the problem. They're all like weeded out.
Yeah, man, weed it out and just taking years of vacation when you have a baby. So
I know, man. 3 weeks. What's up with that?
That's vacation. This is actual vacation. It's not paternity or anything like that. It's for
That's
real vacation.
ridiculous.
It's
That's
good stuff, man. It's good stuff.
Good stuff.
Shout out to Toby. Love me some Toby.
Tobster.
Toby is he got okay, real quick, I gotta say the story. So this week I had Alan Paxton on, right? And this was the first week that Toby and I did like full, like we're in the rhythm now. So we recorded 2 episodes the week before, so this way last week's episode was good, and then this week's episode was good. Well, Alan Paxton reaches out to me, he's like, hey, I'm free on Sunday, you want to do something? I'm like, want to record? He's like, yeah, sure. So I record with him, and then I plan it to go Toby on Monday and Alan on Tuesday. So I tell Toby, just to give him a heads up, like, hey, by the way, we got a special edition of Nintendo PlayStation going up tomorrow. And he's like, excuse me? And I was like, I've recorded. He goes, wait, what? You recorded without me? He goes, what are you talking about? And I'm like, Alan wanted to record. He's like, oh, I didn't agree to this. I don't agree to this stuff. He got all offended. And I was like, just relax.
Did his nose get red?
I didn't actually see him face to face, but I'm pretty sure I'm going to hear about it Sunday. He's going to give me a lot of guff, as they say.
Guff.
Okay, so Eddie, no other shout outs, or is that okay?
Nope.
Dude.
So I guess at this point we're gonna have to. Oh God, here we go. So as a lot of you guys kind of recognize, because people have reached out to me, more than one person has reached out to me, and they're like, "So what's going on? Like, is there a falling out? Is Lacy leaving, or is Lacy quit? Did you fire Lacy? Did you guys kill Lacy? Like, what's going on?" And I'm like, no.
He's just been training Smash for the last month or so.
Yeah, he's training Smash. That's all.
I got one of those pirated copies.
He's hitting. He's boxing frozen like beef cadavers or whatever. Rocky did.
Exactly. Yeah, pieces of meat.
He's beating his meat.
He's beating his meat.
Well,
Yeah.
I mean, I am married, so I mean.
Oh boy, we're not gonna touch that one. I've been there. So the thing is.
Way to dodge it, dog.
Whatever. It is what it is. So the thing is that people were asking like what's going on, Jason, and basically what was happening was schedules just weren't lined on. And I'm gonna just speak, and I'll give you a chance to say, and then whatever. But I'm gonna kind of at this moment just speak a little for you because of the conversation we had.
Yeah.
Jason and I started having a conversation privately. And it was basically the way it was wording out was Jason was feeling like he was letting us down, and I was having a little bit of frustration in terms of like the consistency wasn't there. So as a host, sometimes it's all the times. Like you try to build a cadence to the show in a certain way, and it felt like we would get going and things would get momentum would be moving, and then Jason would be off for a week, 2 weeks, whatever it might be, and then he'd come back for a week and then off again. And so it's becoming very difficult to find that rhythm and that cadence and all. And so on my behalf, I was like, look, and I think it was basically just everybody kind of trying to be too polite with each other. And because I think ultimately the biggest fear, my fear with the whole thing was, well, Jason's going to get pissed off. He's not going to want to talk to me no more. He's not going to want to be friends anymore. And I think partly some of it was you feeling that way too. Like these guys are just gonna get pissed and just snap on me, and like it's gonna cause a riff. And so the conversation basically boiled down to, I think it's one of these things where it's like it's mutual because we feel like it's best for the show, but it's also one of those situations where it's not like somebody like any of us really want to do this as it is, you know?
Yeah.
Like it's one of those things of like I feel like it's best for the show if we go to like if you leave and then me and Sean just take over the show just because of the idea of like it's hard, like I said, it's hard to get that momentum, get the rhythm going.
Absolutely.
And it's hard to run a 2-man show and then a 3-man show because what happens is what's happening right now. I'm very difficult to get a word in on. Like I talk and I keep going and going and going. Sean and Toby, a lot of people from podcasts, they get that rhythm where they go, okay, I'm just going to jam in here and I'm going to. But a lot of times, like when we had a consistency going, you got to that point where you're getting it. But then like you would take a couple weeks off, and then it was like having to retrain all over again. And I feel like it puts a little whack on the show, so to speak. So I'll let you give your 2 cents.
I mean, no, I mean I agree too, and at some point too, you have to. It can't be just about me, you know. Like I was excited to come on the show in the first place when Sean and I first talked about this. Well, God, feels like forever ago now. Yeah. And then, you know, I was thrilled to have the opportunity to stay on it when you came back to podcasting. And I thought Friday night, it's great. This is going to work awesome. It's not going to interfere with anything. And then after a while, you have to say, okay, you have to stop looking at the show and from your perspective and say, you know, and you can't be selfish and say, you know, I want the opportunity to do the show, but is that making the show the best show that it can be? Yeah. And I think, you know, we talked about this and all three of us talked about it too. You have to push everything off the side and really just think about that and take the personal feelings out of it, take those equations out and say, okay, what's going to make the show the best? And I think that's clear, you know, and it's not, I think it's exactly what you said, you know, because apparently I thought Friday nights would be great. No, apparently I'm gone every other. Apparently I leave town a lot more weekends than I thought, and I think it kind of goes back to a bit with, what I have talked about before about how much content I was doing. I don't think I knew it, but then once I kind of once Battle of the Beard, that's pretty much dead. Once that stopped, and then once we had talked, and then I was like, okay. I'm not, you know, we made the decision I was to come out here. I was like, all of a sudden I felt a lot better personally. I think trying to do so many things was weighing on me a little bit more than I thought.
Yeah.
And I wasn't getting heat at home, but I definitely knew sometimes like I was more wrapped up in trying to maintain my non-important things versus some of my more important things. And before that started causing a conflict too, I was like, you know, it's time to shift some things, you know. But yeah, it's just, I think it's going to be, you know, I've listened to all the shows I wasn't on, and it's like, you know, you can tell you guys have had that rapport. It's like you guys haven't missed a beat, you know. And I feel like that's like the heart. It's like the show going back to its heart and soul, you know, in a way. And I think it's going to be a good thing moving forward, because it's true. It would always, like you said, I was pretty harsh on myself internally when I can't make it, because I always do. I feel like I'm letting you down. I feel like I'm letting the listeners down, and I don't want to be in that position, you know. And it doesn't. I don't feel like I'm like giving up and walking away, but I feel like it's just I feel like it's the right choice that needs to happen.
I mean, if you want to feel better, you could just be like, Bobby fired me, and I feel like he's a jerk, you know. And at least that way you can be like, I don't feel like I'm walking away.
You could do that third person to give the downvote automatically on all his videos.
Yeah.
We're up to 3. I could be the third.
Yeah, just come in there and start clicking.
Bobby's just burning bridges everywhere.
I like it.
Sean, you want to say anything?
I don't know if I'm just tired or what is going on, but like I'm getting a little caught up in this. Like this is heartbreaking for me, because like this show is very special to me, and when Bobby left us all to do the thing when Bobby died. And we had the little experiment of making guests kind of do the thing and trying that whole thing. And I was like, it wasn't sustainable. And I was like, there's one person that I want to talk Nintendo with. And I talked to Bobby about, like, I need to make this show, like, doable. Like, I'm scheduling between that show and with the GamerCast, I was scheduling 3 guests a week. And he's like, you need to have a Nintendo super fan on there. And the first person that popped up in my mind was Jason. So, and instantly, like, everything was, like, fixed for me. Like, the show was awesome. And I feel like on a one-on-one basis, like, podcasting with Jason is incredible. And then, like, the 3 of us, I feel like it is difficult. Like, and then when you don't get the practice every single week, then that has everything to do with it. But I'm just, like, really reflecting on, I was in a tough spot with a show that I was too stubborn to let die, because even when I left to begin with, like, this show's had a lot of changes, actually, when we think about it.
Yeah.
When Joseph was brought in to make us better, like, part of the whole, like, shakeup was Joseph would be on this show. So I left the show and I'm like, I don't feel like I'm really done with this show. And then things happened and still, like, I don't know what it is about this stupid show. It's not allowed to die. We, like, now it does feel like maybe balance has been brought to the If We Were at Nintendo force a little bit. We had to go on a bit of a roundabout journey here. Got a little sidetracked with a whole bunch of different things, but the idea and the core of the show is special. And I feel like the best versions of the show are me and Bobby and me and Jason. Like, I think the one-on-one, I think that I want to go back now and listen to the me and Jason shows. I think those were awesome. And I remember thinking, like, we just, like, smacked right into it. Like, we just clicked. And it was so good. And part of this scheduling situation a little bit is me as well. Like, we all have difficulties with schedules, but, like, Friday night is kind of like, or, like, really, like, evenings.
I don't.
I know you don't, Bobby. I know.
I'm just kidding.
I know.
I'm just kidding.
It's tough, man. Like, as life, like, nothing else changes in life, but, like, as the kids get older, it changes things, even though like nothing else necessarily changes. It's very strange. So yeah, I'm reflecting a lot on, like, the year 2018 overall has been kind of nuts. Like, this has all happened within this year, and I will always be grateful to Jason for just, like, I want to be part of the show. And I don't know now, and I'm just like, now what do Jason and I do? Like, we got to figure something out. And
I mean,
in a time where I'm like,
in a perfect world, and I wasn't doing 2 other podcasts on top of it. I mean, because here's the thing I think it ultimately happens to is and I talked about this with Johnny Casino. You know, by me trying to do so many, I think the quality that I was given each ultimately suffers.
Yeah.
You know, and I wasn't able to give you guys the attention and the effort levels that the show, I think, needs. And the same thing with my show Flexpose, the same thing with Nintendo Shack. I missed a bunch of those episodes too because I was trying to space stuff out, and it's just
hard, man.
It's hard.
Like for me, like, I have been in your shoes. You know what I mean?
Yep.
And you could feel it's not being spoken, it's not being said because they're trying to be supportive, but you could feel the tension mounting, and you know that it's on you, and it's you're just doing too much, and it's like, and I think I even said that to you, like, look, the most important thing is your family and your job. We're not, like, at the end of the day, this isn't that big a deal. Don't lose. Like, I've been where you are. It's not worth it at all. If you have any thought that there could potentially be an issue down the line, get out. And you would never hear me say a word about it. And that's the same for Sean. I feel the same way. Like, like, I have been there, and I would hate to see anybody go. You know what I mean? Like, and so the thing for me is, my feeling is this. So for me on the outside, you know what I mean? Like, when I left, when I initially left, I didn't know if I was coming back or not. And Sean and I had the conversation, and he said, like, I would like to have something of you still here, so I would like to maybe rekindle If We Ran Nintendo. Would you have a problem with that? And he came to me with the idea, the original idea. I was like, yeah, that's fine. And I'll be honest, I'll be the one that says, I don't care. I wasn't a fan of it at all. Didn't like it. Didn't like the multiple people. And then when I was on We the Gamercast, No,
and then,
it was
we did a special episode of this.
yeah, special episode of this. We did
that's
episode
right.
100 of this.
We did 99 the
And-
memories.
Yes, 99 of memories, and then 100 of this one. And afterwards, Sean and I talked, and I was like, he just said to me, "What do you think?" I'm like, "I don't like the show the way it is. I think one-on-one is the best way to go." And he mentioned you, and I was like, "Absolutely." Well, I had said you got to have someone that's a fan of Nintendo, that loves Nintendo, because you're the counterbalance. You know what I mean? Like, that's the thing that makes it work with Sean and I, is I'm the off-the-wall fanboy, and then he reins it in with reality. And I kind of was like, you got to go back to that setup. And when he mentioned you, I was like, absolutely, makes sense to me. Absolutely, do it. And then that's when he reached out to you. And so when I had talked about coming back, in my mind, this podcast ultimately was a Make Us Better podcast. It was something that was part of that foundation. And
what a year it's been! Holy crap!
I know. And I didn't know if I was, because I knew at one point I wasn't going back to Make Us Better.
Right.
So would I be welcome here? Plus you're here now. And then me and Sean started talking, and he was like, no, I want you there. And I was like, okay. And then the conversation came up like, well, do we have Jason leave now? And I was like, no. Like, I like Jason. I love Jason. I don't want to have him leave. And then Sean was like, oh, thank God, because I don't want to do the same. I don't want to do it either. And I was like, okay, good. So we're all on the same page. And then we approached you. And I think you initially thought, like, well, Bobby's coming back, I'm out.
Yeah.
And that wasn't the case.
That's true. Yeah.
Yeah. And that wasn't the case. We said, no, we want to keep this going. So then we negotiated the days, what works the best for everybody. Because at first it was live, and it was live on Monday nights. And I was just like, I can't commit to Monday night. I got to work the next day. It's so much later for me, you know what I mean, than you guys. And then that's when the whole Friday thing came up. I was like, okay, let's do it. And so, you know, my feeling is this. I am and will always be forever appreciative of you keeping this alive. Because this is one of my babies. You know what I mean? Like, this is one of my things that, like, when the time came and Sean and I decided we were going to do something, this was basically where we went with it. And you stepped in and you knocked it out the park. And I feel like, as weird as it is, when you stepped in the role, when you stepped in the Bobby role when I was gone, it kind of, like, for me anyway, I formed a bond with you in terms of, like, I started to listen to the show again. I stopped listening to all podcasts when I was away because it would just hurt so much to listen to all my friends doing stuff. And I started listening to this show again, and I was just like, man, that Jason Lacy, me and him, we have a bond. It's, you know, we're both the host of the show. And so for me, it was like, and that's why, like, when I did the comeback, I went right to you and I was like, hey, man, I want you to be a part of the Guru Direct. I love you, dude. And I never, ever, ever, ever want any ill will between you and I. I would rather get in a call and iron it out than anything. There's many for those that don't know, there are many times when I was having bad days. And let me tell you what. You want to have a bad day? Get divorced and go through a divorce and deal with lawyers and BS and all that. And I'd be having a bad day, and Jason would be like, let's fire up Tecmo Bowl. And me and him would go play a couple matches of Tecmo Bowl, and I would feel 110% better. Or we would just talk and just chat. And I don't think I ever told you this, but honestly, dude, it meant the world to me. So thank you from the bottom of my heart, man.
Absolutely.
You're like a brother to me, dude, and I love you to death. And I hate that this is happening. I feel like it is for the betterment of things ultimately, and that's what, you know, I want this thing to be good. Yeah. But at the same time, it's like, it sucks at the same time, you know. But
yeah, and I think we all felt that way, and I think that's why we've kind of things have been going into this direction for a bit. I think we, like you said already, we've kind of we pushed that along as far as we could because we didn't want to, you know, cause any rifts within friendships or cause any issues. But I think we're, you know, I think we kind of, you know, this is professional, but I think we can handle this as professionals. And also, you know, I think we can get beyond that. I think
Yeah.
I mean, I think that's pretty easy.
You know, it kind of reminds me. I don't know if this is app comparison, but with all these holiday sales and everything, all the Black Friday sales, I feel like all I want to do is just like buy all the games. Just like, why not? I can, like, you got money in the bank, you can just buy the games, and then
it's
you got
a Steam sale.
Just buy the games, and then you'll have them, and then you don't play them, and you're kind of just ignoring them all, and you're not giving your best to all the games. Like, I don't know, you always have to make these choices in life, and it sucks. But at the same time, as much as it's awful, I hope that this alleviates some stress and some worry for you, Jason. Like, both of those things are kind of like the top of my stress. Like, there's kids and everything else, whatever. But like backlog and like time for content creation, like top of my list right now. I'm just like trying to figure it all out and just like make it all work. So if there's anything that like simplifies life, and if this is one of those things that simplifies life for you and that makes things happier, I hope that that's the positive spin that you can kind of glean out of this.
Yeah. I mean, it saddens in a way, but also like it takes away that stress and that other part of me that where something else I could be critical of, and it's like, okay, I can let that go now, and I can kind of just keep on keeping on.
Yeah, man.
Yeah.
Everything else I got to hold on, but it was just like, it would suck to. I think I missed like one episode because like maybe one or two because just things weren't right for me at that time. But it would suck to be like, I remember I was on my birthday trip and I was gone, and then I was at my in-laws and I'd be gone, and then it was just like those times sucked. It sucked to be to be gone, especially I got Sean out there in the middle of nowhere, Canada, and in campers doing podcasts, showing me up.
That was the hit. That's what hurt you.
Oh no! I didn't mean to do that.
So it's all Sean's fault. You know what? It's not me. I didn't do it. Sean.
It's only because I had a work phone. I used like a tandem or whatever it's called.
That
was the best podcast I ever did with Sean when you were out on the island and you were on your knees in that spare bedroom. Oh my god,
that was so bad. Yeah. I podcast all over the land, man.
He's one of those quite a bit.
Well, whatever, man. Gotta pay the bills.
So I mean, I don't want to keep. We've talked about me too much in one podcast, guys. We're doing Smash. We're doing this.
I know. Todd Oxford's having a coronary right now, and Todd, just relax, bro. It's okay.
Yeah, because that is all.
That is all, Todd. We're at it now. We do have a topic. That we're going to jump into. By the way, man, Greg Caldwell jumping in on the end of this whole Smash thing and talking trash. Greg, I used to love you, man. I know you listen to the show still, but you know what? Don't come at me, bro. You don't want none of this. Don't at me, bro. We got everybody. We got Greg Caldwell. We got Chris Berto. I know it's nuts. Everybody. It's nuts. Next Friday night, I don't think there's going to be and if we ran Nintendo next Friday night, I think it's going to be Smash Fest, where we're just all going to stream and Smash, fighting each other, beating each other up. But
that'd be all right.
Let's jump.
Yeah, let's take a week off now that we're
Jason's gone. We'll just take the week off and not even worry about
consistency. Taking a week off, everybody.
Well, let's face it. I would let's say if I was hypothetical. Here's more proof. Okay, guys, I was gone last week Thanksgiving. I would have made it this week. I wouldn't have been here next week because I have work holiday party, and Smash Brothers to come out. I sure as heck don't want to do a podcast.
Yeah, he's like, I'm not going to podcast. Like, whatever, guys.
I'm going to be drunk and playing Smash Brothers.
Yeah, there you go. That's a perfect combination. All right, so here we go. If we ran Nintendo with the tease this week of Zelda Skyward Sword coming to the Nintendo Switch, a total double entendre, that whole thing. Whatever. Okay.
Push through, man. You got this.
What did I do, man? What is my typing? And whatever. So if we ran Nintendo, would we have brought Skyward Sword to the Switch? A. Or whatever. What franchise will we bring before Skyward Sword to the Switch? So let's just fix this up a little bit. Earlier this week, there was a lot of rumors. Basically, it stemmed off of Aonuma being at a concert for Zelda over in England. I think it was England, might have been Japan. But anyway, regardless, he come on the stage during it and basically talked about like, I know what you guys all want. I know what you guys are all waiting for, and it is Skyward Sword in HD. And I don't know that he even mentioned the Switch. He just said Skyward Sword HD. And then, boom, the internet explodes. Everybody swears up and down, it's coming. It's going to be here. This is the next thing. This is where it's going. And then, I think like a day later, not even, Nintendo basically acknowledges it and says, no, it's not coming. We have no plans at this time to bring it, which is their go-to phrase. And everybody knows that. So
yeah, like why would they respond like actually yeah there are plans and like that's how they would announce it?
Yeah.
There's no way. So
because
it's
I feel
impossible
like
to read into it.
I always feel like if there are plans, if they're working on things, then they say something about it. If they're not working on it, they just ignore it.
Yeah.
And they don't even talk about it. You know what I mean? Like Metroid. How many times have people asked Reggie about Metroid? And he would be like, we're just not ready to talk about anything at this moment. And then all of a sudden, boom, here it comes. And then like Mother 3, they get asked about it all the time. They just ignore the hell out of it, and it still isn't here. You know, so it's like you get the franchises where people bring it up, and they just go, we don't have anything to talk about at the moment. We're and then boom, this one. So I feel like there's something brewing. It's just not there yet. Probably I could see something like maybe late 2019, early 2020 before we get something. But regardless, let's start off with this. Is Skyward Sword the right game to port? Is Skyward Sword the right Zelda game to port over to the Switch? Yes or no?
I'm glad you clarified, because if we were just to say the right game, clearly the answer is Star Fox Zero. I mean, clearly.
Definitely.
The answer is Star Fox Zero.
This is true.
Glad you clarified.
Okay, yeah.
Here's the thing. I've never played Skyward Sword.
Okay.
So, I didn't own a Wii. So when they ported Twilight Princess to the Wii U HD, I got to experience that.
Mm-hmm.
And I think a few other people did for the first time, which I really enjoyed. We've seen Wind Waker get the HD treatment on the Wii U as well. To me, I feel like Skyward Sword is a very divisive game. There's a lot of people that really applaud the art style and some of the dungeon design and the story and the music, but you also had the pitfalls of the Wii and the resolution and how that art style just kind of looked like crap because of the picture quality.
Mm-hmm.
And you have the waggle controls.
Yeah.
Which some people are going to hate. Some people think it's cool. So in my mind, you have a way to bring this game to a new audience and a chance to change the game. Because let's face it, there's no way they're going to port this with just motion controls. Yeah. This game's going to take some. If this is a port or HD treatment, or it's going to have to be an extensive rework at some point, because they're going to have standard controls implemented in this, which will also require some reworking of my understanding, at least of how some of the bosses work, because I believe some of them the motion played into how you actually would fight the bosses as well. Mm-hmm. So I think this is a way to kind of reintroduce that game to an audience that might have missed. And I mean, I'll be honest. If it's real, I would buy it, because I like Zelda. I've played every Zelda that I've had an opportunity to play, and I would do the same with Skyward Sword. And I think, especially with the Switch, the install base, I think there's enough people that I don't know. I feel like it would do well. Yeah, I do feel like it would do well. But I don't think you could just somehow do the motion with the Joy-Con. I think that would be a terrible idea. Yeah. And except now we like to sell Nintendo. We are going to sell you a peripheral just for one game. So here you go. Here's your Joy-Con Master Sword that you have to play.
I'd buy it.
Skyward Sword with.
Yeah, it would probably give me to buy it. I would expect gold Joy-Cons, like the gold Wiimote that they put out.
Yeah, right. So that's my initial take.
Yeah, Sean, what's now I know you've played it, Sean.
So I've said it many times before that I think that this game is bad. I don't think that this game is even really all that great at all. But I will say all the things that I reflect what Jason had said. The good things that you said are good about this game are good, and the art style I think lends itself well to, like, I want to see that in HD, and so I find myself going like I kind of would be intrigued to see what they would do. One of my biggest problems with the game actually is the sky. Like a lot of the time that you spend here is flying in the sky, and it's like one of the most boring, bland like landscapes. If you think if that was like Hyrule Field or even like sailing, I guess in Wind Waker, it's just nothing, and it's just like this speck off in the distance that you gotta go get, and it's a very uninteresting part of the game that takes up a lot of the time. So they could fix that. The reason I compare it to Wind Waker is because I think they fixed that with the HD remake. So there's a couple things that kind of had me going like, there's some problems that I have with the game that they could fix pretty quickly. My number one thing is not actually the motion controls. My number one thing is actually the sky and how that whole thing all worked out. But correct me if I'm wrong. Is this the only 3D Zelda game that is yet to get a remake or something in that fact? Like Majora's Mask, Ocarina of Time are on 3DS, Twilight, of course, and so I mean, like, what else is there? Unless we go to some of the top-down stuff or some of the Game Boy or DS stuff, it totally makes sense, and I totally think that they're hiding something. This could be the thing. This game in HD could win me over. So my first take is like coming from a place where I don't love this game. I think it's bloated, repeating the same areas and bosses and things like that, just needlessly, it seemed. I think dousing was one of the worst things I've experienced in a game, where you're pointing around trying to find something and it was inaccurate, not only the motion controls but like the location stuff was just not good. Dousing is also a gross word, I thought. Like douching is what I kept thinking about. So I'm intrigued to see what they could do with it, but and with it being the only one left, it makes sense. So that's kind of where I'm at. So it's like, I guess.
Yeah. So my feeling is this, and I've talked about it pretty much this week, a few places. I feel like this is the best story-based Zelda game ever. In terms of, like, there is a strong base of a story here between Link and Zelda, and it's almost like a prequel, and all the starting and like the voice, like everything that goes into play here is just amazing. Yeah. Just they knock it out the park. That's number one. But my two biggest issues are A, the motion controls. I don't feel like they're as fluid as they should be. I feel like there was a resyncing issue that I faced a couple times where I'd be in the middle of a battle and it was like it got off a little wonky, and I would have to you'd have to resync the controller, the Wiimote and stuff. Just didn't feel like it was the best. My biggest issue, like I could probably push through that. My biggest issue is Fee. Fee, I want to punch her in the face every single time that, like, here I am, I'm trying to go somewhere in a dungeon and pops out from behind you because she's the sword, and she pops out behind you and is like, no, you don't want to go this way, maybe you should go that way. And it's like, no, I want to go that I trust me, I want to go that way. So I feel like coming off of Breath of the Wild, this is a mistake to put this game out, in my opinion. I feel like the game to put out right now is Wind Waker. And the reason why I say that is Wind Waker is probably very close to Breath of the Wild a little bit in terms of, like, you can kind of go wherever you want to go in terms of the islands, and you can get in a boat and just go. Where I feel like it's going to be very difficult for people to come from, hey man, there's a mountain out there, I'm going to go out to that mountain and just go, to no, you can't go this way, you got to go that way. Because if you remember, Skyward Sword is the reason why Nintendo, the developers of Zelda, went to Iwata and said, we need to change this. Yeah. We're not happy with the way this game is going. The fans aren't happy with the way it's going. It's way too hand-holdy. People think they want Skyward Sword, but you cannot go from what Breath of the Wild was directly back to that. People will lose their minds, and all you will hear is complaints and people arguing and fighting about how bad it is that you can't come and go where you please. Now,
that's kind of what happened with Twilight Princess. I mean, even before Breath of the Wild, I'm like, trying to think of this timeline here. Which really the conversation lends itself to what everybody has now retroactively realized, which is that Wind Waker is the best 3D Zelda.
Yeah, absolutely.
But when it came out, of
Because-
course, that's not what the story was.
Right. Yeah.
No, because with Twilight Princess, there's 45 minutes of tutorial-based stuff before you can actually get into the game.
Yeah.
And then once you get through that, then it's like, oh, here's the game. It opens up. But what they did was they kind of streamlined that a little bit with the remaster. They kind of took some of that extra bonus stuff, not extra bonus stuff, I won't say that.
Just
Some of
fluff.
the extra, like, just basically running here and there and doing stupid stuff. They cut that back a little bit. For me, Wind Waker is the way to go. Bring Wind Waker over first, kind of prep people, and then slowly. But in the meantime, man, fix the controls on Skyward Sword. In terms of, like, give people the option to go with a pro controller, or, you know, and I know immediately people are going like, well, motion based. Dude, you can use analog sticks. You can basically be like, hey, if you got to swipe this way, you use the right stick to be like, if I got to, like, I can use the right stick as my sword, you know, or whatever. You can, it's Nintendo. They can come up with something. But I feel like either the Joy-Cons need to be dead on, which I'm not sure they are.
I feel like they would be, and I don't know if I just have like this false sense of optimism, but I do feel like the Joy-Cons would have at least better than motion plus motion.
I hope
control.
You
I
think
hope.
so?
Yeah, I mean, I know that there was some big issues with the left Joy-Con early on.
Yeah,
I don't know how. See, I didn't have a bad left Joy-Con.
Same here.
How bad it was, and are people going to be buying this and their Joy-Cons are still jacked up and it's not working? Like, I just don't know how fluid that would be. You know what I mean? Like, I would like to see that works, because the motion control isn't the major killer for me. If they can make the motion control better than the Wii version, I'm in. But man, Fee really kills it for me. I'm not gonna lie, man. She really kills it for me. So if there was a way to, like, chop her head off and just leave her someplace, I'd be okay with that.
Probably is.
Yeah, like,
I don't know if it's possible, like, from a file size standpoint, but what would you say if you got a compilation that was Wind Waker, Twilight Princess, and then they said, here's Skyward Sword.
That's what I was thinking.
Sell the HD collection.
yeah. I mean, I would probably think that'd be an $80 game, but
Yeah.
I think there'd be a lot of people okay with that.
Yeah.
I did see a mock-up somebody did. I think it might be a Nintendo voice chat, where someone did a mock-up of the art cover, and it was actually all three games on one. It was like a Triforce, and like the images of the covers on each three were in there. I actually just talked about it on Planet Nintendo podcast this week. Like, imagine you get it and you open it up, and there's three cartridges in there. Like, all set
there you
up.
go.
You know, that would be, but Nintendo's not going to do. I mean, they would probably do that in Japan, like a special edition. But think about it, like,
When you open it up, it plays the chest sound effect.
Oh,
Every time.
Oh man, I gotta change my diapers. So the thing is like, I really think that it could be something, honestly. But I don't know that it goes that way.
Yeah.
So let's say
We need Mario remasters before any of this, but I know that's not the topic.
they're not going to do Mario remasters. Miyamoto doesn't want anything to do with that.
Yeah.
And he's the judge.
Lincoln really wants Mario 64 on Switch.
Yeah, well, guess what?
He's really liking that.
Lincoln's not old enough to really play the. And
That's
he
true.
He wants to watch Daddy play it or watch Let's Plays on YouTube, and he's okay with that.
Wait, did I tell you that we found it on our Wii? We actually found it on we dug up our old Wii, and today we were playing it. And so I'm playing with the classic controller, and it's dongled to the Wii remote, and he likes that power button on the Wii remote. He just shuts it right off. It does something, and so I'm like, okay, well, that's okay. We'll fire it back up. You press this button. He finds his thumb. I can just see out of the corner of my eye, like he's just like working his way back up to the power button. Shuts the whole damn thing off.
Kids like
You're a real son of a bitch, Lincoln.
Wow, did you call Chelsea?
Wow. I think he did.
Wow, man. Oh my god.
Oh, me.
Yeah. No. You can't backpedal. I'm gonna clip
That's what I
that
meant.
and give that to Chelsea. That's gonna be Chelsea's Christmas present from me. This is what your husband really thinks. Here you go.
All right, so 2019, I'm moving to New Jersey. I'm moving in with Bobby.
That's okay. You're more than welcome.
Thanks, man.
So my question to you guys would be this. of all the 3D games, right? Of all the 3D Zelda games, do you feel Skyward Sword is the smartest move as the next game to come out?
I just, like I said at the start, I just think it's like it's next. Like I get what you're saying. The best game to do is Wind Waker, but we've already got that.
Yeah.
So I don't know if. But at the same time, like nobody
but
bought a
they
Wii
also-
U.
You also got to remember, not that many
Yeah.
people played it on the Wii U.
That's what I'm. Yeah,
Yeah.
like.
And
so,
you look at the games
Yeah.
that are getting ported from the Wii U, they're selling like gangbusters. What do you do?
Yeah.
Do you? What do we do? Do we go, hey, it's going to be Wind Waker, Twilight Princess, Skyward Sword, and we put them out like maybe one each year, and then by the time we get there, we're here for Breath of the Wild 2. You know, once we, what do you do? Because that's what I think. I think if you position this properly, and you give fans a Zelda game every year for the next 3 years, you've positioned yourself to when the next actual sequel comes out, you bought yourself time to actually build that game, and then it feels like there's no lapse in it.
I guess,
Or do
man.
you feel like that's too much Zelda?
It all kind of feels a little bit too much Zelda. Like Zelda, the thing about it is that they come like once maybe twice in a generation, and like that's kind of it. And it also like because of that time, you kind of forget that like, guys, they're not that great. The 3D Zeldas aren't that great. I'm really sorry, but I don't think they're all that awesome. I really don't. I could take them or leave them. So there's that. Like I would really want a Link Between
breaking
Worlds.
news: Sean is off the show.
Yeah, Sean
I'm staying.
needs to go. Jason,
I don't think they're that good.
you stay. We'll kick the Canadian out of here. What is wrong with you?
Okay, give me your rating on Twilight Princess out of 10. Is that a 9 out of 10? Is that a 10 out of 10?
No,
it's like a
It's
6.
probably- no.
6 or
no,
7?
No. I would say 8. Wind Waker, that's 9 to 10. Easy.
Okay, that's a standout.
Okay. Ocarina of Time, definitely an 8 to 9.
Yeah.
And the only thing that hurts at its time, I didn't play the 3DS one. Majora's Mask, easy 8 to 9.
I think at the time they came out is different, but right now
Let's compare,
I don't want to play
let's compare
Ocarina
them to
of Time.
Halo. Let's do this little game. Let's compare them to Halo.
Oh, trust me, I think Halo 1 and 2 have some of the worst level design around. Like, why can't I figure out where to go next? I'm just going around in circles here. So yeah, we could do that game.
I mean, ultimately,
I just
I
don't think
would
they
I like to see a
translate very
brand new top-down Zelda? Yeah, of course I would.
Yeah.
I would love to see an HD
Yeah.
top-down Zelda.
I want to Link Between Worlds. If I'm being honest, I
think
don't do
we're-
Skyward Sword. I want to Link
I
Between
think the
Worlds.
next Zelda. I think we're gonna get a non 3D Zelda coming, like something something different, something weird,
Yeah.
like our not. I'm not gonna say like our Four Swords or Triforce Heroes,
Yeah.
but something more in that vein, not the traditional.
Something where you touch the
Link
screen to control him.
experience.
No.
I mean, here's the thing that I've always
Those
said.
are bad.
I've
Those
said
were
that
bad.
I wanted on the Switch is either some sort of HD Zelda collection, or now what I want is give me a collection of all of the handheld Zelda games I never played. Put
Yeah.
them on.
Yeah.
Give me so
Yeah.
I can give me my Spirit Tracks, my Phantom Hourglass, my
Mhm.
gosh, what
Four Swords.
Four Swords. I never played that. The Oracle of Ages, Oracle of
Yeah.
Seasons.
Oh yeah, man.
Yeah.
And then what's Minish Cap? Give him to
Yeah.
me. Give me it all. Give him.
But I would like them
Oh.
to get a little bit of an upgrade to them.
Yeah.
You know what
I would like
the Octopath Traveler art style would be incredible,
that. Ooh,
and all of that stuff. Just that glow, like the way they did lighting and
Yeah.
everything.
Give
and,
me,
yeah.
give me Zelda 2.
Oh,
like remade
yes.
with that engine,
yeah.
Yes.
Yep.
Yes.
That'd be
I'd
cool.
be down for that in a minute.
That'd be
and make sure the game
crazy.
still says I am Air.
See, okay, so that's the
Yeah,
thing. That's
yeah,
what I'm talking about. You have those games, and those games get that reaction. Okay, so don't come
Yeah.
at me with the garbage about like I can't say
No,
nastiness about 3D Zelda.
Listen, I don't. No. Listen, I think they hold their own.
Yeah.
All of them. Like, there's a place for the 3D. There's a place for the 2D. Absolutely. Me personally,
And the place for the
I-
2D is in the greatest games ever made.
listen.
In the 3D,
I-
it's like those are very good games.
here's the thing for me.
They're fine.
I feel like
Some are bad.
the greatest Zelda game of all time is Link to the Past. That is hands down the best one, in my opinion. Breath of the Wild, though, came very close to me. Like, they just missed the mark on a couple things there's some changes I would make to it, but ultimately I feel like it's a phenomenal game. I think it was exactly what the Switch needed, and it's a fantastic game. I think it's one of the best games ever in terms of 3D and all that stuff. Same thing with Wind Waker. I think Twilight Prince. Here's the thing. I think there's more misses with the 2D games than there are with the 3D games.
Yeah, with how many there are on the handhelds.
I think that, like, you look at Minish Cap, you look at Link's Awakening. Like, I know a lot of people love those games. They're not all the best. There's some misses in there. Or, like, compared to the 3D, I think the 3D.
I cannot wait to see the comments, because there's going to be a certain part everybody's going to, because the comments are going to be like, oh, Jason is great and we love Jason. And then, like, people are going to get further on into the video like, what are they saying? Unsubscribe. I'm going to unring Bobby's bell.
Where's Jason going to? We're going with him.
Over to the shack. Run on over to the shack, baby.
So
you're not quitting that show too, are you? No,
not yet.
Oh, the look, man! I was like, my god!
I'm like, oh my god!
I would break Donnie's heart. Donnie's heart.
That's true.
He might shut PSVG down.
That's okay. Devin Tice will.
Newly minted.
It'll be like me on this show. Dev on that show would be the exact same. Like, whatever. Nintendo's fine.
I hate Mario. No,
yeah,
I love it. Exactly. I love people. I love it. People in the chat. You guys didn't say Mario. I'm like, Devin hates Mario.
Yeah.
Love it.
So that is all, because we don't have time for the second topic. We'll use that one for next week. That is all. Thank you guys for watching today's episode, listening to today's episode, whatever you did, however you consumed it. Thank you very much. We appreciate that. You can follow Mr. Jason Lacy over on the Twitters at JW Lacy. He's also has a Patreon with Lucas over on Flux to Pose, so patreon.com/Flux to Pose. You can follow Mr. Sean Capri at Sean like Connery, Capri like the pants. He doesn't have a Patreon no more, so that's a good thing. Whatever. And you can follow me over on Twitter's at Nintendo Gurus. That is all. Peace out, Preston.